Mike Harris is worthless. Please get him out of our starting offensive line. Berger, he'll be okay at center. Fusco, he'll be fine at left guard. Clemmings, he'll be great at right tackle before it's all said and done. Mike Harris, get the heck out of here. Please go find a different team to play for. Anybody would be better than you at right guard. I know some of this is coming off harsh, but seriously, watch the game and care about the team, and I think you'd understand. You should feel the same way. The players should be more upset than I am. The coaches should be more upset and embarrassed than I am. Like, it's them that failed, not me. And thus, they should care more about it than I do. But being a lifelong Minnesotan, I care a ton about it. Another thing that puzzles offense, we're not even done with the offensive gripes yet on this Minnesota Vikings team. Adrian Peterson only ran the ball 10 times. Totaled 31 yards. That's horrible. And half of those carries came out of the shotgun formation. At what point in his career has Adrian Peterson ever had any success or experience, much for that matter, running out of the shotgun? Backs who run out of the shotgun, just think about this, okay? Again, this is just fundamental. You can be an idiot, but if you just stop and think about it, it'll make sense. Okay, first off, let's go to just a normal when you hand off. The quarterback's under center. He takes the snap. The running back is behind the quarterback. Ball snapped. What happens? The running back runs forward towards where you're trying to advance the ball. The quarterback puts the ball in his breadbasket, and then he continues going. Now let's just stop and think. Well, how would that work? I guess then, if you're in the shotgun, and the running back is lined up not behind the quarterback, but alongside the quarterback. Ball is snapped. What happens? Is the running back running forward towards where you want to advance the ball? No, he's not. He's standing there. Standing still. He's just freaking standing there. And then once the quarterback comes and gives him the ball, once the quarterback hands him the ball over, then he can start running and move. How do you not see the vast difference in the running style there? Like, one is up downhill running forward. The other one is pause, read, lateral, lateral movements, agility. Guys like Darren Sproles, who are very quick, very agile, very crafty, Those are the guys that when you see teams running out of the shotgun and they hand off to the guy on the side of them who's just standing there, and then it goes, they have success because that's in their skill set as a running back. They're highly maxed out on acceleration and agility and vision, probably. None of these things are AP strength. At all. At any point in Adrian Peterson's life, none of those three things I mentioned that are all necessary to have running success out of the shotgun have been his strengths. It's not to say they're weaknesses of his or that he can't do them. That's not what I'm saying. AP can do anything he sets his mind to. But what I'm saying is when you've got an amazing player who has these talents and gifts and skill sets that he does do extremely, extremely well, why wouldn't you give him the opportunity to use those? Adrian Peterson is fast and he is strong. He's got breakaway speed, but he doesn't have the fastest first step, acceleration speed. He can hit the hole, but he's not good at reading blocks and the defense and making adjustments in his cuts and things like that. It's I've got a full head of, I've already got a head of steam behind me, and now I'll make some adjustments based off of what I see. But those have always been AP's strengths. And we didn't allow him, we gave him 6 touches where he was able to do what he normally does. How do you expect how did Carlos Hyde do off of his first 6 touches? Okay, everybody wants to rave about how their running game was so great. Their running game was so great. Carlos Hyde's amazing. Their offensive line was phenomenal. Give me the first 6 carries from a single back or I formation where Kaepernick's under center. Just you know what? Don't even worry about that. Just give me the first 6 carries. You know, whatever Carlos Hyde's primary, running back formation is, or style or whatever. Just give me those first 6 carries, because that's all AP got of what he's used to, and his running style, and his experience. He got 6 carries. How do you expect anybody to do anything with that limited number of opportunities? And that's another thing. Okay, well, let's finish out positions. So running backs, irrelevant. It wasn't that they played bad, but they didn't play good. They didn't have really an impact, any of them, in any way. Wide receivers, very disappointed actually in our wide receivers. Our wide receivers have no awareness. The route running is pathetic. And in route running, I don't mean necessarily getting open, but understanding the situation of the game and making sure that when your quarterback needs to throw the ball, because he's only got 3 to 4 seconds to do that, that at least one of the 4 freaking wide receivers running a route down the field has made their break in their route and is looking back to ready for the ball. Tight ends, Rudolph did okay. Red Allison dropping, that's unacceptable. Again, the tight ends were a little bit like the running backs, nothing too overly bad and weak, but just kind of irrelevant. But so back to finishing out that wide receiver point that I made, and this is on the wide receivers and it's on the coaching staff. This isn't on Teddy, and this isn't on the offensive line. If any 2 people should have some of your sympathy, it would be the offensive line first. They're getting way harder of a rap than they deserve, even though they had less than a 5 on a 1 to 10 scale. I'm not saying they played good, but they're getting way more blame than they deserve. And then the second would be Teddy Bridgewater, because there were so many times where he was just handcuffed. Case in point, the last offensive play of the game for the Minnesota Vikings, when they were going for it on 4th and approximately 9. Ball is snapped. We've got 4 wide receivers out wide, 1 on the left side, 3 on the right. Teddy takes the snap, drops back, 5-step drop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. Does his, double foot hop setup plant thing that you see every quarterback do it. When they're when they're set up, when they have the time for it. So he takes his full drop, gets boom, planted, set up, ready to throw. Like, that's the play call. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to read the defense pre-snap. Get your ideas in your head of okay, look for this, after the ball snap. You snap the ball, you drop back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, double plant, set up, in perfect throwing motion form. That is when you expect your primary read to be throwing to him, right? If he's open, that's when you expect to throw it to him. Not one of our wide receivers on that play had even gotten into making the cut on his route yet. This is inexplicable. High school teams are better at basic football than that. When you have a 5-step drop called, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, the routes on that play call then, you have to have at least 1 or 2 of them that timing-wise correspond to that, where it's, the quarterback's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, throw. That timing, okay? At least 1 wide receiver needs to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, break, catch. Watch that play again. Hit pause. I dare you to do this. I brought up the DVR, learning X's and O's. Any dummy can do it. Bit a little earlier. If you DVR'd the game, or if you see the game on NFL Replay, well, it probably won't because it was a Monday night game. But if you DVR'd the game at all, go back to that last 4th down play. Hit it and start it in slow motion. Well, actually, just start it in full motion, and then when you can see, obviously, okay, Teddy's no longer running backwards. He stopped, planted his feet, and is looking to throw the ball. Hit pause right there. Take a look at the pocket. Since everybody wants to rip the O-line, and ultimately the play ended in a sack, he didn't even throw the freaking ball down by 2 possessions with under 2 minutes to go. Throw an interception, Teddy. How stupid are you? My God, Teddy's football IQ is like 4. I don't get it. He's such a great human being. I don't know. It's got to be a coaching staff thing. But do that. I dare you. Hit pause when he hits the end of his 5-step drop and plants looking down the field to throw the ball and get a 9-yard gain and keep the game alive. There is literally no Viking or 49er when you hit pause. It's a perfect pocket. You've got this perfect little semicircle arc where it's Teddy, this huge big arc space, and then all 5-6 of the blockers' butts and backsides. It's textbook. Perfect. The problems? Again, we've got 4 wide receivers. They're all on the outsides, and not one of them is even remotely close to making their break in their route to be a receiving option yet. You have to go at least 3 to 4 more seconds into the play before a single wide receiver makes a break to, possibly catch the ball and have it thrown to him. Inexplicable. Unacceptable. Like, why is Norv Turner calling an offensive pass play that is designed to get you 20 or more yards and requires the time necessary for that too, mind you, when we only need 9 yards? And you need to be calling plays where receivers are running 8 to 10 yard routes and they get a little yak or they catch it just beyond the marker. No, not even remotely close. And the worst part was, had one Viking, any random Viking just went and ran out into the middle of the field, there was literally no 49er and no Viking in the entire middle of the field. I'm talking outside of the hashes even. Nobody. If one guy runs a slant, it's a first down, maybe a touchdown, or an in, or a crossing route. Something. I mean, my God, we need 9 yards, and our insane idiot offensive coordinator, Norv Turner, has all 4 wide receivers on the outside running freaking streaks, posts, Hail Mary routes. Granted, again, mind you, I am an elite football mind, so I'm smarter than most of these people anyway. But it shouldn't take an elite football mind to figure this stuff out at all. Like I said, this is as fundamental, basic football 101 stuff as it gets. I mentioned Blair Walsh missed his opening field goal, so we still got those concerns too. Punter's not that great, So it's, like I said, offensive side then, Khalil played fairly well. Rudolph played okay. Honestly, that was about it. Everybody else either played, mediocre or worse than mediocre. So, who gets the most blame? The coaching staff. The coaching staff should get like 90% of the blame. 45% Zimmer, 45% Norv. And then let's give another of the remaining 10% left, all that we got. Let's give about 5% of that to Teddy, 3% of that to the offensive line, and then the final 2% to the defense for not pitching a shutout. But that's like I said earlier. When your defense holds a team in the NFL to 20 points or fewer, you need to win at least 2/3 of those games. At least. I mean, if you don't, you're a lousy team and you got no business showing up on Sundays. Flip to the other side then. When your offense scores 3 points in an entire game, whoa, I don't know. What do you think? What's fair for how often those games you should expect to win? Try 0, try never. Seriously, if my entire team for an entire football game scores 3 points, I expect them to lose every single one. Every time that happens, I expect my team to lose. I would be stunned if I ever went, oh my gosh, my team won 3-0 or 3-2, or we only scored 3 points, but it ended up being a 3-3 tie. That's it. Those are the only possibilities. So the fact that it's almost impossible, and you almost can't ever, under any circumstances, win when you only